लोग क्या कहेंगे? No, seriously, who are these people? And why do they have so much control over your life decisions? Assalamu alaikum, beautiful souls. I am not here to give some motivational speech today. I just want to talk. Because I know I am not the only person who has struggled with this. And let me be very clear, I am not sitting here as someone who magically never cared what people think. आज मैं इतना बोल रही हूँ, but just a few months ago, I was exactly where many of you are. Overthinking every move, over explaining myself, editing my personality depending on who's watching. And to be honest, if I hadn't started fighting this log kya kahenge syndrome, I probably would never have ever started posting like this in the first place. Because this thing is deeper than people realize. It's not just fear. It's not. Sometimes it becomes psychological conditioning. You become so used to monitoring yourself through other people's eyes that eventually you stop asking, "What do I want?" and you only ask, "How will this look?" And that's exhausting. Psychologically, this is connected to something called external validation dependence, meaning your sense of confidence, safety, and self worth slowly starts depending on other people's approval. So now your decisions are no longer fully yours. They belong to opinions, reactions, judgment, expectations, family pressure, society, imaginary criticism. Basically, you hand people psychological authority over your life. And the craziest part, most of these people are not even thinking about you that deeply. But in our minds, we create this invisible audience that's constantly watching, judging, commenting. Every time someone wants to do something different, maybe start a business, study abroad, wear something different, post online, set boundaries, choose an unconventional career, suddenly there is this log kya kahenge. And I really want to ask, कौन है ये लोग? Because they are not paying your bills, they are not carrying your anxiety, they are not healing your trauma, they are not dealing with the consequences of your silence. Yet somehow they still get a vote. I have genuinely seen people quietly destroy their own potential because they were scared of looking too much, too ambitious, too expressive, too much visible, and too different. Especially girls, a lot of girls are taught from such a young age to constantly self monitor. They are taught not to talk too much, don't laugh too loudly, don't stand out too much, don't be extra, don't make people uncomfortable. And after years of hearing this stuff, people slowly disconnect from themselves. They become smaller versions of who they actually are, just to stay acceptable. But let me tell you something that changed my perspective completely. Okay, I agree people judge. But most people judge you for 5 seconds and then move on with their own lives. 5 seconds, that's it. Meanwhile, you carry the fear for 5 years, 10 years, sometimes your whole life. That's such an unfair trade. And trust me when I say this, the world becomes much bigger once you step outside that tiny mental prison. लोगों की सोच छोटी होती है, दुनिया बहुत बड़ी है. The moment you stop filtering your entire existence through public opinion, things slowly start changing. Not magically, but naturally. You breathe differently, you speak differently, and you stop over explaining every decision. Confidence starts looking different too, because real confidence is not loud, it's calm and peaceful. It's being able to say, "This is what I want," without writing a 3 page justification for it. And let's be honest about something else too, validation from family matters. Of course, it does, especially in our culture. Sometimes the people closest to you won't understand your vision immediately. Sometimes they won't even support you emotionally the way you expected. And yes, I know that hurts. But you cannot pause your entire life waiting for that universal approval because no one claps at the beginning anyway. People usually support after results appear, after success becomes visible, after confidence becomes attractive, after proof exists. Before that, most people project their own fears onto you. And I think that's another thing we forget. Sometimes people discourage you not because your dream is unrealistic, but because your courage reminds them of their own inaction. And that makes people uncomfortable. So, if you have been delaying something, maybe a channel, a business, therapy, healing, a career shift, a decision, or anything in your life, only because of log kya kahenge, I genuinely want you to ask yourself one thing. How much of your life are you willing to sacrifice for temporary opinions? Because one day it won't be their voices haunting you. It will be your own voice asking, why did I abandon myself just to stay acceptable? Stop asking everyone for permission to become yourself. Stop editing your personality for approval. And stop giving random people psychological authority over a life they are not even responsible for. Because the day you stop living for validation is usually the day your real life finally begins. And in the next video, I'll talk about a practical solution and psychologically proven way to slowly get out of this mindset. Because awareness alone is not enough. You need action too. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of your beautiful souls. Assalamu alaikum.